Good morning, students. Today we are going to start chapter 3, that is coordinate geometry. Now what actually coordinate geometry? Before I go with this chapter, I will first discuss about already how to represent numbers on number line. Like when I give you a number 5, how do you represent? You draw one horizontal line like this and you put one center 0, then you think this is a positive value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you represent like this 5. If it was negative value, suppose say -3, what do you do? -1, -2, -3, so this will be our value. So this is how you have already learned to represent it on number line. Suppose if the same line is drawn vertically, if I draw same line vertically like this, same line if I draw vertically, then this will be my center 0, and if we draw vertically, our positive value will go up, means this will go up. Here now these lines, this will be positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I draw vertically, my 5 will be here, means positive value will be upward, and the negative values -1, -2, -3, this will be downward. So now coordinate geometry is also same thing. Coordinate geometry means what? Actually, it's help us to locate the points. So here what we will do is we will first draw two lines, perpendicular lines to each other. Suppose one will be this one horizontal line and another one vertical line like this. One horizontal line, one vertical line, and they are perpendicular to each other. Okay, they are perpendicular to each other. They intersect at point O, and this point O we call it as origin. Origin, and we will mark this as X, this is Y, this will be X dash, and this is Y dash. And this X O X dash, your X O X dash and Y O Y dash are called coordinates. This is X coordinate, we call this as X coordinate, and this is Y coordinate, are called coordinates. These both are called coordinate. This is X coordinate, X O X dash is X coordinate, Y O Y dash is Y coordinate. Okay, and this plane, when we represent this on this plane surface, this plane is known as Cartesian plane. Cartesian is the name of that mathematician who have discovered this coordinate geometry. So this plane we consider it as Cartesian plane. Okay, now this X O X dash are called X O X dash and Y O Y dash are called coordinate. They are also called X O X dash is called X axis. It is X axis. We can write again X O X dash is called X axis, and Y O Y dash is called Y axis. It is different name. They are coordinate. Since X and Y are two coordinates, but we can call X O X dash as X axis and Y O Y dash as Y axis. Okay, then now being divided, now these two perpendicular lines, when they intersect each other, it has been divided into 4 parts. So it has been divided into 4 parts. So now these 4 parts, when two perpendicular lines intersect each other, we get 4 parts like this. So this first part is known as first quadrant. Okay, and this is known as second quadrant. This is known as, okay, so we have 4 quadrants together. Now on the first quadrant, here if I asked you, this is the origin, on the right hand side of the origin we take always the positive value. The value will be like this 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Here we also take only the positive value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. Now on this quadrant, if you look at the values, they are all positive. Here the value of y are also all positive. What does it indicate? It indicates that our first quadrant can take only the positive value for both x and y axis. That means our x also will be positive and y also will be positive for both x and y. For both x and y, the first quadrant has positive value. In the second quadrant, if I come to my left hand side, what values I will take? The negative values, -1, -2, 3, 4, like this. Now in the second quadrant, if you look at the x takes negative value, and if we go towards y takes positive value. Okay, so what we will write? The x will be negative, y will be positive, and always you have to start with x, then only y. X, y, alphabetically you will go x, y. So in second quadrant, what we got? We got -4, like this. So now in this part, in third quadrant, if you look at the value of x, they are all negative. If you look at the value of y, they are all negative. So what does third quadrant indicate? It indicates minus for both x and y. Okay, now if I move to the fourth quadrant, you have to look at the value of x. Here the value of x are positive. Here the value of y are negative. So what does it indicate? X is positive and y is negative. So this. So you need to remember this. This is a very important concept you have to remember. In first quadrant, both the coordinate x and y coordinate can take only positive value. That's a plus. In the second quadrant, the value of x will be negative, y will take only positive value in second quadrant. In third quadrant, both x and y will take negative values. And in fourth quadrant, value of x should be positive and y should be negative. So this is all about the quadrant. Now our x coordinate of a point is called abscissa. We call x coordinate as x-axis also, and we can call it as abscissa also. There is another name for x coordinate. You can call x-axis. X-axis is correct. But sometimes you get in the question abscissa means kya hai? Abscissa means also x-axis. The point means point is called x coordinate of a point is called abscissa. It is lie on x coordinate. And for y coordinate of a point is called ordinate. We call for y as ordinate. Now suppose if I give value 2 and 3. So my 2 is abscissa. This 2 is your abscissa. And this is your coordinate. Suppose 2 points are given. There is 2 coordinates are given, 2 and 3. We can call it x-axis and y-axis also, but it is called abscissa and ordinate. Suppose if you want to locate this 2 and 3 on this graph, on this Cartesian plane, this plane, how will you locate? So first you go with x. Your x will be this perpendicular line from the point y. This is the perpendicular line from the point y. This is 2. And value of y, this ordinate is 3. This, you draw a perpendicular line like this. So now, this is the point. So you join these two lines. When we join these two lines, we get this point is called 2, 3. So that means x is 2, y is 3. So in this way you need to locate. Suppose if I give you another one point to locate in this place. Suppose if I tell to locate you -2, 0. Now our x abscissa is -2 and our ordinate is 0. That means only we have the value of x. So we will come up to x here -2. Since the value of 0, y is 0, that means your origin is always 0, 0. Our origin is always 0. This is the starting point. So the point -2, 0 will be this only. So we cannot move towards y. It will lie here only. So this is how in coordinate geometry we need to locate the points. This is how we can locate it. So I want to give you the now summary of this. Coordinate geometry means what? This actually we represent it on a plane, and that plane is called Cartesian plane. So when we represent it on a plane, we need two perpendicular lines, one horizontally x o x dash is called x axis or x coordinate, and another one is y o y dash is called y axis or y coordinate. Okay, and when we join these two lines, we get four parts, and that parts are known as first quadrant. So first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. And wherever the perpendicular line intersect, that point is called origin, and it is denoted by 0, 0. Both x and y are 0. And then there is different name for x-axis. X-axis is also known as abscissa, and y-axis or y-coordinate is known as ordinate. So here, what kind of question you will get? You will be getting some questions where you need to locate the points. So by looking at the sign, we have to indicate in which quadrant or in which axis it will lie. Okay, so coordinate geometry is the branch of mathematics in which problems are solved using coordinate system. It is a branch of mathematics where we can solve problem by using coordinate system. Okay.